Wet. Good morning. Welcome to Build Day 20, or should I say non-Build Day 20. Now what time is it? I'm not even sure what time it is. 10:45. Okay, really late start this morning for the basic reasoning, as you can hear. Hopefully. It is raining, and it's been pouring rain almost all night long. Before I forget, breakfast of the day on a wet, miserable day: hot tea and oatmeal, brown sugar and a little bit of cream over the top, some sliced fruit. Good, nutritious breakfast after some of the wacky breakfasts you've been getting. Build Day 20 at this point in time is a total wash. I just got done walking the haunt. It's been raining all night, and it's been raining all morning. Things are thoroughly soaked, and I mean soaked. Today's job, I was supposed to do some painting, and I was supposed to start electrical today. Can't do the painting, everything is too wet. The paint's not going to stick, it's just going to run. And it's not a good idea to be working on electrical when everything is soaking wet. And still getting soaking wet. So, not exactly sure what to do. We've got exactly 10 days before we open. We are far enough ahead of schedule on the build that I can afford to take a day or two off. I was hoping to get my day or two off after the build was done. I might end up having to take a rain day today. So I am not exactly sure how much footage you're going to get for Build Day 20. But I think what I'm going to do is, I'm still working on the LED light project. I made some good progress yesterday. I'm to the point where I'm ready to start installing the LEDs into the fixtures and everything. Or at least into the boards, so I can install them into the fixtures. I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to keep an eye on the weather. If it stops raining and starts drying out, then we're going to come out here into the tents, and we are going to start getting the trunk lines ran for the electricity. We have 4 different trunk lines that we run. Trunk lines, for those not familiar with the term, are my main power feeds. I have a power pole that I run from behind the haunt into my shop that's tied right into my circuit breaker box in the shop. And then I have 4 lines that run from that out to different areas of the haunt that all my electrical stuff plugs into. I need to get those trunk lines ran before I can do any electrical at all, because it depends on how I run all the cords and everything. So with it raining, I can't do it. Some of the areas right now I'll be dragging the lines through have puddles in them, and I don't want to get things wet. Not a good idea. Water and electricity don't mix. So like I said, I think I'm going to work on LEDs and wait and see what the weather does. If it stops raining and starts drying out, we'll get out here into the haunt. If not, you might just get an old style vlog, me working on LEDs with little clips here and there. Or you might just get this and then stay spooky, stay toxic next time I pick up the camera. It depends on what we get. As far as the haunt itself, decorating, other than some creepy cloth and vinage and foliage, I gotta get hay in the displays, is totally done. We're basically ready to start doing the electrical and the air lines and the audio and all that. And like I've already said a couple of times, with it raining, it can't be done. And this is only supposed to be today, as far as I know. I gotta check the weather. But anyway, I am going to go play with some LEDs for a little while, guys, and hopefully this stops. So, well, good morning, people. Again, on this rain-filled day, we're back out in the shop. Now, last night I got curious, and I went ahead and inserted some LEDs into the wafers, and they went in okay through the back. I put them in, and then put a drop of hot glue on them to hold them into place. Tested them out, and I'm running into a problem that I've got to fix. As you can see, the LEDs aren't sticking out very far, and I need them to stick out further. The LEDs I bought, those there, do a 180 degree light emission. With the LEDs not sticking through the wafer very far, I'm losing most of the light. So it's basically making these not as bright as they should be. Now when I drilled the hole out, I drilled the hole thinking that I wanted the LED to not go all the way through. In other words, I chose a drill bit that would allow the LED to pop through, but there's a flange on the back side, which you really can't see on here. It's hard to see with the naked eye. That's wider than the LED itself. My hole let the LED go through, but not that flange. So what I'm going to have to do, if I want these LEDs to pop out further, and I do, is I'm going to have to drill those holes out just a hair bigger, so more of the LED can fit down into the wood. Which is going to create a fun time. When I originally drilled these, I bundled these up, you know, like 5 or 6 of them at a shot, and then just drilled the holes, and it went a lot quicker. Now that I have the shiny surface on there attached, I can't do that. So I'm going to have to drill these out one at a time, which is going to take some time. So I'm going to do that. Then we can go back in the house. I can heat up the hot glue, pull these LEDs out, and we can have some fun installing LEDs. Okay, I just did one wafer. This is the original one. As you can see, the LEDs only stick out so far. Here's the one I just did. The LEDs stick out a lot further, which is what I want. Now, like I said, these LEDs give a 180 degree arc of light. With more of the LED sticking out like that, it will emit a lot more light and be a lot brighter. And I want these things pretty bright. So now I just need to go through all of those and drill the holes out so the LEDs will stick out. Project and weather update. Weather, things are wet. The rain has pretty much stopped. It's just a real light misting now. Things still need to dry out real good before I can get into anything. And as far as project goes, I really can't tell any difference. I went through and I widened out the holes on all the plaques so it will accept the LEDs a little bit better. So that's done. I'm ready to go back in and start getting the LEDs in. With the rain slackening off, one thing that we had not been doing, because we had not been counting on rain, and I should have known better, is the fireplace, the treasure chest and the pirate display, and Jen's picture. Those were all out. I did not have them covered. And luckily, Jen's picture took no damage. The fireplace is a little wet, and the treasure chest is a little wet. We went and got some tarps, went out, got thoroughly soaked, getting in underneath the big tree in the pirate display to get everything tarped. But those 3 items now have the tarps. Now, I did have a maintenance I've been meaning to do, and since we have a rain day, I might as well do it now. And that's with this here. And that I made up ages ago to hold 2 of my flame lights. I have one on the other side of the haunt. This one, on the other hand, last year and it doesn't want to sit upright. The tip of it broke off. So I need to get in here and recut a new piece in here and then get it put back together. Quickie little project, now I can put it right back out in the haunt. Thing is, it's not going to be stained. I don't know if I'll get around to staining it. Of course, it's going to be in here in the shop. I could just stain it today by being lazy. It's a rainy day. So I'm going to get this repaired, get this back out in the haunt, and then I'm going to kind of reassess things. I still, before I can do any of the electrical stuff, need to get out and put these in. These are some construction grade cords. You know, it's a 25-foot cord. You know, it has a standard plug-in on it. And then the, you know, just like a regular extension cord, the other end. With the exception, it has a couple of T's also wired in. Now, we put those in for 3 of our runs to 3 different areas in the haunt. And then each one of these is hooked into its own 15 amp circuit breaker. And then I can run things in those general areas into that and into power. I need to install those first before I can do any electrical of any sort. Because depending on where those are in their areas, depends on how I run the cords. So I kind of need to have those in first. So I might sneak out, try to get these in. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I've got that one there and 2 more there. So first order of business is going to be this, and we'll get it put back in, and then we'll take a look at the weather and see what the weather's doing out there. Alright, a little bit of haunt build. Got my standard back in. I still need to get the chain that goes from that cup hook up to that cup hook, and it's right directly across from that one. Only difference is the part I replace is not stained, and I'll come out at a later date maybe and stain it. Right now I really don't care. It's too damn wet to care about it. Other than that, we got Jen's picture covered. We've got the treasure chest covered, and over here we got the top of the fireplace covered. I'm not worried about the side. The water will run right off of that, but I was worried about pooling on the mantle and on top of the chimney. So we cover that up. So it's pretty much protected. And as you can see on the trees, they're nice and wet. Everything's dripping. The darker clouds are kind of moving off a little bit. We're getting some way lighter clouds out. I got the thing when I was in the shop, some prep work that needs to be done before I can put it in the trunk lines. I got a couple of my heavy duty extension cords that need a little bit of repair. So I'm going to go ahead and do the repair work on those now. And then hopefully by the time we're done, it'll be a little bit drier out here and we can get some of the trunk lines ran. Well, it's going on 1:30. And I don't know if you can see it up there. I think it's coming in. We got some blue sky. Still got some dark clouds off and on moving in. Got that over there coming in. Weather forecast, it says chance of showers today, slight chance of showers tomorrow. It's, like I think I said, after 1, almost 1:30. And I had 3 extension cords where there was a short in them. You know, they'd work and sometimes they wouldn't work. So I went through and all the connections on them, did some maintenance, added on a couple of new connections to those that needed it. So these 3 cords are ready to go for the haunt. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab some lunch, let things drip dry another half hour, 45 minutes or so. And then we're going to go out and get the trunk lines ran, and then I'm going to start pulling out my electrical tubs and start getting some of my electrical stuff into the haunt. I mean, there's already some stuff out there, but I have some specific electrical stuff that I keep separate. I don't put up in the attic. So we're going to start getting the lines ran, and we're going to start getting some of the 110 circuits ran. I am not going to be messing with this. This is my power pole. This goes up there by the back of the tent. All my 110 plugs into it, and then that black mass down there is all the wiring for this, which we run in here and hook up to the circuit breaker box. I am not doing that today. That's going to have to be for another day. Things are still slightly a little too wet out here to be messing with that. So we're going to see, let things drip dry a bit, go get some lunch, and if it's still drip drying when I'm done with lunch, we are going to start putting in those and then start working on tubs. I'm bound to determine, I want to get something done out here on the haunt today. We made some progress out here. Went and got all my trunk lines, here's one of them here, into place. There's 3 of them right now. I've got that one there, which services both the big spider, the little spiders, the jumper and the bouncer, does the mausoleum, and then also the graveyard, as well as all the light boxes on the driveway, the stained glass ones. I've got a second trunk line in that will service the photo hall for these all of my light boxes in here, Gypsy, which is on the other side, the black light room, as well as the mirror display. And then I have another one into place. You can see that green cable down there that does a pirate, the witch, Fred, the skeleton with the bubble tubes, and the torture chamber. They're all in, all the wires are ran over to where the power pole's gonna be at, which has not been put into place or put in yet, or hooked up to power yet. So we've got those areas covered. Now, for now, I am not going to be working on any low voltage stuff. I'm still working only on the 110 stuff. And everything except for the Scooby-Boo boards, which are low voltage, but they have a power adapter to them. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 tubs out here. This is all my electrical stuff, which needs to be dispersed throughout the haunt. So I'm going to start getting these into place, stuff that needs extension cords, electrical cording, whatever. I'm going to start getting everything plugged in to the trunk lines I've got out. That means going through display by display, getting them all wired up for the 110, getting everything plugged in. Once I can make it through all the displays, we'll bring the power box out for the LEDs and my low voltage stuff, and we'll start running the low voltage stuff. Okay, major update of major importance. We got into the tub that had the candles in it, got down to the bottom of the tub, and looky what I found. I got a regulator, and I found my cylinder for the attack spider. So now I can go get that put in. That's my next chore, is getting the getting that cylinder in so the attack spider's all together. So got that. Figured it was important enough to show it because I've been looking for it since I put the attack spider up. Now we're not doing too bad. We're making some progress. Not a whole hell of a lot, but some. Wife came out and gave me a hand, and I had a bunch of these PVC candles that I made, and one of my projects this year was I went and put flicker LEDs in them, 12 volt flicker LEDs. Had a crap ton of these candles. Those have all been dispersed throughout the haunt where they're going to go with the wife's help, thank God. I also got in here, and I'm not sure if it's going to show, it's getting dark. Yeah, it's showing. Got the pneumatic cylinder on the spider, so now he just needs to get hooked up to air and get his solenoid and control boxes and stuff in. And then I think you can see in the corner there the black hose hanging down, as well as the red hose there hanging down. Those are the air lines for both the jumper and the attack spider. So the air lines are ran for those 2 props. They're not hooked up to anything, but they're ran. So we're getting somewhere. Now, order of business. With the candles out and that little bit of air stuff done, That empties out pretty much one crate. I got some Mishkabibble crap in there. Don't really need it. But I do have other stuff I can do. This one here has my air pumps for my bubblers. So I am going to go get those installed next. And then it's also got my light for the torture chamber room. It's one of those fire and ice lights. And I think the rest of the stuff in there is for the most part fog stuff. I'm going to sort through the container and see. Fog stuff I'm going to save for last because I'm not exactly sure where I'm putting foggers this year. But we're going to start on another tub and just kind of keep going, see where we get. Alright, it's after dinner. I just came out and it's about 7:30. But anyway, I just came out and got in my last black light for Fred. And I thought I would give you kind of a preview. I don't have it wired into the trunk line yet, but it will be as soon as I'm done finishing this clip. Sorry, trying to hit the switch on my clamp light. There we go. I'm not sure how it's coming up. We got the wall panels. Everything's pretty much lit up and glowing. Let's see if we can get across here. I know, wonky camera angle, and it's dark. There you go. Give you another little bit of an angle. You can see Fred really good. It's a lot better. The props are sticking out a little bit more. Last year we had so much of that orange color like it's on Fred that things just weren't showing up very well. But anyway, we pretty much got this wired. I also have the air pump for the bubblers, which is that thing there if it's coming up on camera, and those two things in the ammo cases there. I got the that. It's all wired up, ready to go, just not plugged in because there's no water in the bubble tubes yet. I don't want to burn up the motor without having a water in the tubes. But for all intents and purposes, other than the water and the hay, this display is done and ready to go. Well, end of the day wrap up. It's about 8:30. For being a rain day, I'm surprised we got anything done out in the hunt today. I didn't get as far as I should have. Today was supposed to be paint day, but things were so thoroughly soaked after the rain last night and most of this morning, it was impossible to paint. So I jumped in and started doing the electrical. We got all three trunk lines ran. I got the air lines ran for the attack spider and for the jumping spider. I found the cylinder for the attack spider too. We got that put in. And it's working like a charm, at least by hand. I don't have air actually hooked up to the thing yet, or the solenoids or scuba board or anything else. We got the electrical ran in Fred's display. That's the mini blacklight display I showed you. I need water in the water tubes yet. I need to paint the pedestal that the boxes are sitting on. And then we got, and which I didn't show you, and there was really no need to show you, but you'll see it eventually. But we got the main light. It was one of those fire and ice lights, the fire one. Put in over at the torture chamber, and several of the things over there wired up, ready to go. Still need a couple other things for that display, and I haven't gotten that far yet. Scuba board being one of them. And then this morning, while it was pouring down rain, we got some work done on the LED light project. So now I can get into final assembly, finally. Well, we also brought out, let's see, what was it, 6 tubs? These white tubs here. Let's see, 3, yeah, we brought out 6. We got 1 totally emptied with the wife's help. We got candles in and a couple other things. And then I've gone through this tub here, and this tub here is all fogger stuff. Hoses, remotes, what have you. I'm not working on foggers right now, so I'm just going to put it out on the patio. Anyway, I can bring it back out when I get to the point where we're actually working on foggers. I need 1 for the mausoleum, 1 for the torture chamber, and I'm not sure where I'm putting any of the others. I just know the mausoleum and the torture chamber right now. Well, it started. We're on the downhill stretch. We've got... Oh, I say it's going to take me... Let's see, it's Sunday now. I think by this time next Sunday, we'll have all the electrical done. All the 110 will be in, and then I think I should have all the LED low voltage stuff done as well. So the hunt will be all wired. And I'm shooting for, not tomorrow, but Monday of next week for water in the ponds is what I'm shooting for. That way I can get my water blasters and stuff checked and ran and what have you. As far as on the docket for tomorrow, well, it's going to be more AC stuff. Sorry, I've got something in my eye, had something in my eye, other than my finger, for about an hour now, and I keep digging at it, and I can't seem to get rid of it. I think it's underneath the eyelid. I need to clean it. But it's just going to be more AC stuff tomorrow. We're going to try to make it through all the tubs, get everything out, and getting the 110 ran in all the displays. As far as the main power pole, wanted to put it in first. That way I could just plug things in, plug in the different trunk lines and, test things at the end of the day. But I got to think, if I do that, then I can't use my shop. My shop is totally dead because I unhook everything, all the outlets, lights, everything in the shop in order to free up the circuit breakers. fun. So the circuit breakers, the power pole get put in sometime this next week. Exactly when, I don't know. Probably after I get all the AC done. I'll drag it out, hook it up, plug everything in, double check everything. But we are getting closer to being a haunt, so I am going to call it quits. Stay spooky and stay toxic on day 20.